All right, everybody, welcome to Read the Lines Celebrity Insider Show. And let me tell you, we have a celebrity today. We not only have a guy that I've known for years, but the 20-year director of golf at Upper Montclair Country Club. That's right, his name is Michael Holliday, an award-winning PGA professional and the host for the LPGA this week for the Cognizant Founders Cup. Michael Holliday, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Keith. Thanks for having me. Very exciting stuff. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, man. Well, it is exciting stuff. And one of the reasons that I called upon you, I mean, we've been friends for a long time, but the LPGA hasn't seen this golf course since 2009. You did a golf course renovation in 2011. I mean, this is a fresh start for everyone in the field. So we got to break it down. I got to find out from you, and my readers need to know what it's going to take to play well this week. So let's just start with, I know the players are showing up probably yesterday, today, and they're playing their practice rounds. From your opinion, what would be their first impression of the golf course?
And Keith, that's an easy one. The conditions of the golf course. In my 20 years, as you said, I've been here for the NFL, the side base, and now the Founders Cup. Kudos to our superintendent and his team, Mike Brunell and all the local, actually tri-state volunteers. We have a fleet of about 60 guys and women that are part of the agronomy team. And that's the first thing that they're going to see is, how fast and firm Upper Montclair is. Unfortunately, in a flood zone, 190 acres, it typically plays soft. So it's those that can kind of carry it a little bit further than others. But now it's a completely different ballgame. The golf course is running fast and firm, and it is absolutely pristine. Like I said, the best conditions I've seen, and that's kind of been the comments from the players. They're pretty much wowed by what they're walking into.
Well, I've played there a couple times, and I'm always wowed by the place. I mean, it's just really, really well designed. A.W. Tillinghast design, redone by Robert Trent Jones Sr. back in the 50s. I mean, two great names in the architecture game. Fantastic layout, everybody. But you just mentioned it there. Fast and firm conditions we can expect, right? So what do you think the weather's looking like this week? I know you're working with the LPGA team daily, looking at the weather, looking at the forecast. What do you expect for the weather this week?
Their technology is off the charts. We get almost hourly updates daily and for the week. I would say right now, the most consistent thing that they have mapped out is the wind and the wind direction. Yesterday for the qualifier, we had gusts up to 30 miles an hour northeast. They're going to expect that pretty much starting Thursday. It's going to die down a little bit Friday, still in the 15s to 20, and then the weekend it'll be at its low, right around 10 degrees with a little bit of rain in the forecast. The cool thing is it's not going to really get above 72 degrees, but at nighttime, firm's friend is cool weather, and we're going to hit the mid 40s to high 40s. So the root base is going to suck up all the moisture. The wind is going to dry that place out, and once again, fast and firm is coming your way.
All right, well, watch those early tee times, it sounds like, for your DFS picks. What's the temperature going to be like when they tee off at 7 in the morning on Thursday?
Thursday, you're looking at probably 52 degrees, 52 to 53. Yeah, it's chilly. I had flares on yesterday, and it wasn't enough.
I believe you. It's been Mother's Day up here, but we haven't quite seen spring. And anybody that watched the Wells Fargo last week, I was down there, and man, it was cold and it was wet. And anyway, I'm looking forward to this. So let's get to the golf course itself and what skill set it kind of takes to play well at Upper Montclair Country Club. Let's start with off the tee. How demanding is it for the players off the tee? Is length an advantage, or is accuracy a better play here?
100% accuracy. It's coming from Mountain Ridge last year, another incredible facility. The fairways are a lot more generous. Here at Upper, it's getting the ball in play in the right quadrants of the fairways. So definitely, direction and control over distance for sure.
Now, this is a classic design golf course. Approach always plays a huge role on the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour every week. right? And I don't think anybody wants to miss these greens. They're not the largest greens in the world, right? Talk to me about what type of player. You say it's going to be windy, right? You've played the golf course obviously over 20 years as the director of golf numerous times, right? What do you find is one of the best types of shots or types of plays on approach that you need to be able to do to score well here?
To your point, Keith, the greens are small. The pin placements that they're going to have out there will be tough but fair. It's those players that can hit your quadrants. The greens they look relatively flat. But it's those subtleties that kind of sneak up on you. That looks right to left one way, left to right the other. It's really just hitting greens, hitting the center of greens. And you've been to our facility. The challenge is that I'm hearing from all the women. It's the wind that's playing a huge factor. Yesterday we had the qualifier, and the prediction was 200 to 300 par was going to get in. The golf course is set up at about 6,600 yards. And at one point it was +3, it got to +1, so 2 gals qualified for +1. And the feedback was, the short putts with the wind and for how fast these greens are. So if you can hit it on the green, relatively you're going to have anywhere from 20 to 30 feet if it's center. If you hit it close 5 feet, it's those players that can control their ball flights, and like I said, their landing zones. And obviously, like I said, you don't have to hit it as far because of the roll, the amount of roll they're getting. If you hit this ball anywhere from, 230 in the air, it's going to roll out to about 270, and most players will have kind of lower irons in their bag. It's just play smart, be patient, because there's a few holes that can sneak up on you. Par is going to be a good score. Center of the green all day.
Well, you have the number one player in the world there, and even she won't hit every green. And if there's one thing I remember about playing Upper Montclair Country Club, it's the bunkers, right? The bunkers are treacherous. So talk to me about how the players, or how important do you think it is that bunker play or sand save percentage is towards contending this week?
It would be huge, and our renovation that we did just a few years ago on our clubhouse, we needed to give the players access to taste and feel bunker play with our practice facility. The USGA came in there in 2019, and they replicated several bunkers on the golf course, and that's where you're seeing most of the women practice and warm up. It's a percentage on the range, putting green, but they're spending a lot of time in the bunker. It's those players that that can hit that delicate little soft high spinner because the lips are high, and the sand depth has been pretty consistent. Those that can control their bounce and spin and hit that little soft spinner is going to be the factor.
All right, let's get to the greens then. Last part of the golf course. You've already said it. They have some subtleties to them. What's kind of the trick to putting these greens well? I mean, 20 years there, I know you've made some birdies, right? You've probably made a couple this past week. So, I mean, you know how to read them. What type of player or what advantages? I mean, is it a Northeast player like a Megan Kang or a Marina Alex that's going to have an advantage here? Or is it just somebody overall that's a great putter?
Somebody that makes all the 5-footers, the 3-footers, 5-footers, that player that's almost dialed in, doesn't miss, that person's going to have the advantage. Because Keith, I saw our club champion, Kate Granahan, played Division I at Plainfield, or excuse me, at Penn State on number 5 South. She hit it to 5 feet, and I was there with our club president. And the wind was blowing, but it wasn't howling, and she literally tapped it and hit it by 5 feet and missed it again. It's that player that has incredible distance control, but like I said, can step up there, hit it firm, dead center within 3 and 5 feet. There's your winner.
All right, so a little three-putt avoidance, it sounds like, as well, because which is amazing because the greens there aren't very big, but boy, I mean, scary things can happen at that place very quickly on the putting green, and we will see it this weekend, especially if the wind blows. All right, it's about that time. You've seen the ladies practicing for a couple days now. I need an early lean. I need somebody that you've liked the way they played or their approach to the property. Give me one of the favorites. Give me a pick here, Michael Holiday.
Keith, watching these players practice and how diligent they are about their routines, it really makes you wonder, why, guys like you and I, have never made it to that level because they are all business when they step up on property immediately, from their stretching routines to the routines on the range. And I have to say, defending champion Jin Young Ko, the way she hits that driver, she hits it more on the lower side, probably launching it at 9 degrees, maybe the ball spinning 2,000 RPMs, tight little draw every time. Her iron play, her putting. There's a reason why she's number one in the world. I spent probably 2 hours watching her hit. I was there all day yesterday. I was probably there 15 hours, so I had a chance to watch everyone. But there was something about her game and her confidence. Number one, obvious, but if I was going to lay a dollar down, I'm going with her for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's the two-time defending champ, and all the treachery that your place has is very similar to Mountain Ridge. It wouldn't surprise me at all. She's in good form. But how about longer down the list? I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago when they played out at Palos Verdes, New Jersey's own Marina Alex, 90-1 long shot. Is there another name down the list, or could Marina, win twice in a row?
It's funny you say that. There's someone in the field who I just admire. I'm looking for the names. When I was there, the last time we hosted, and the Brittany Lipscombs, Christy Kurz, but there's one that stands out to me because she's ready to go. She changed her lifestyle. She lost 60 pounds. She's been on tour for over 20 years. She's fiery. She's great with the kids. And that person, my friend, after watching her today, is Christina Kim. Christina, she's a long shot, but it's like she hit the reboot button, and you can see it. You can see it. Like I said, she's healthy, she's strong, she looks the same, and I'm pulling for her. If there's an odd like last week in the Derby, it's Christina. Excuse me, it's Christina Kim for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great pick, and it goes back to it does seem like she's fired up to be more businesslike in her approach, and the passion that she's bringing back to her game, and she's been competitive. So nothing would be better for women's golf than to have her win as a long shot because she's such a great spokesperson, just like you are there, Mr. Michael Holiday, for the PGA of America. I can't thank you enough for coming on Read the Line today as my celebrity insider. You've been fantastic. I'll see you up there this week. I'll be up there during the tournament covering it, and I can't wait to catch up with you, my friend.
Proud of you. Continue to do what you're doing, my man. I'll see you this week, brother.
You got it.